Welcome to another edition of Heavy Live with Scoop B. I am Brandon Scoop B. Robinson, senior writer at Heavy.com. We are live on a multitude of Heavy's Facebook pages, Heavy on Lakers, Heavy.com, Periscope on my Twitter at Scoop B, and as well as on YouTube. We are in there like swimwear. It's always a party when we have one of the most respected people out there right now, none other than Nicole Hoopz Alexander. What's going on, man?
What's up, Scoop?
Working my tail off. How are you?
That's good, especially at a time. I can't complain. I'm wonderful. Best day.
I know it. You told me Halloween is one of your favorite holidays.
I love it. I really love every holiday. I mean, if you want to do another interview on Thanksgiving, I'm going to tell you that's my favorite. And then Christmas.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. You got a busy day, but I'm glad that you made some time for me because you kind of busy these days. You're in a music video. Tell me a little bit about the video that you are in that's making waves.
Well, it's crazy, and then everything happened so fast because nobody has been doing anything. I mean, everything's been so slow with COVID going on in a travel situation. So, everybody's been really reluctant to get in those settings with everybody, but they took the best precautions. It was super comfortable. Everyone was protected. And, I got the email like, hey, we need you for a feature for this video. And it kind of has to do with, a reality-based type of video show. And I was just like, okay. And when I talked to the producers, they were like, but we want to make it a little bit funny. And I love those additives. I want it to be funny, nothing serious, lighthearted. And so I was all in for it, flew out, did it, best time on set. And basically, it was like, I love hoops. So we had a mansion full of the guys fighting for my affection and my love. Wow, the tables turned. But they were goofy, Ty's the one, Ty Dollar, he's the one. And then everybody else, the song is called Nothing Like Your Exes.
Yeah, you were all in the pool. You were everywhere.
I had the jacuzzi in it up.
I'm not messing with you. When you talk about hoops, you and I met, and we were in a celebrity Well, I was playing, you were kind of hanging out, but we met at this celebrity basketball game out in Tallahassee, Florida, and you and I made a bet.
Yeah, you made a bet. One that you lost.
The bet that I lost. I lost the bet.
Huh?
What you said?
Oh, I said, yeah, one that you didn't want to really mention. We made a bet, but yes, you lost. And, come to think of it, you still owe me 20 minutes, man.
I do. So, for those who are tardy to the party, we bet the NFL playoffs. And it was, I think, the Baltimore Ravens.
Titans.
It was Ravens Titans. So you still got to collect on that bet.
I do got to collect on it. I'm thinking that before we get off, I might have you do a little something for 5 seconds to knock off 5 seconds, 20 minutes. We are live. I mean, I get to choose when.
All right. So what? So we're collecting now. What do we have to do?
I'd say like maybe just give me like a ballerino pirouette or something like that.
Oh, heck no.
We could start there. Just get out of your seat, back up a little bit, give me a little twirl.
Literally. All right. So I'm gonna get up. This is exclusive.
Yeah, the hand move is everything.
Going like this.
Uh-huh.
Going down.
Okay. 20 seconds off of 20 minutes.
So we gotta do that for 20 minutes?
No, that's just 20 seconds. I'm donating my time. Oh man. A scoop?
Huh?
I see your knees and hips moving. That's good.
Oh yeah. Up, down, side, plie, releve, all of that. I'm waiting for you to tell me when to stop.
Okay, stop. You may sit.
Tell me how you knew that the Titans were going to win?
I can't give you my secrets away. It's internal, you know. It's just a magic thing I have. I mean, really, have I ever really lost anything, Scoop?
You know, that's a funny thing. You said that to me. You said, I haven't really lost. You've won at everything.
Yep.
I don't know what to say to that, but you won the bet.
Add it to the list.
What are some of your most successful wins that you enjoyed?
Gosh, I mean, it could be from a basketball game, which is just delightful, especially when you're playing against a group of people that just know they got the game, and then you just half court. Maybe that's how I like to shoot half long shots like Steph, and you just drain it for the game. Oh gosh, that's just great. But I have to say, I love money because it was so unexpected. So I did the show in 2008, I Love Money or whatever, and it came down to just me and one other person, and I just knew we had it, but we had one more test to go through or whatever, and I seen him struggling a little bit, and then I went over there and I hurried up and did the last thing, and then boom, his check got voided. Mine was given to me, $250,000. That was the craziest win of my life, literally. So that was probably my favorite.
I Love Money, like you said. I guess it was you defeated Joshua White Boy Gallagher, and you won the $250,000. When you do game shows like this, okay, you win $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine a lot of that goes to taxes.
Sure enough.
When you get
what I had to sign, I was like, oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, we don't want no problem, so they can take it.
When you got that check and you saw how much it was, what was your first reaction?
I just thought about my family. Like, I just was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like we can have fun. Like, you know, if they need something, it was just more security, you know, like for me, like even up until that show, I mean, I have been so blessed. Like I'm kind of low maintenance when it comes to things. As long as I can travel, as long as my family can go wherever they want to, and just have the freedom of whatever it is that I want to do, I can do it. I mean, I'm pretty simple and happy. So I couldn't wait to just like take them on vacation or do stuff. And I made a couple investments and things like that. So, you know, but that's really it.
No, that's real. That's real. Flavor of Love. Many people know you from that show.
Yep.
If you could go back and change anything about your role in it, what would it be and why?
Nothing. It would be the same way. Like, you know, I think the misconception was that on that show, people thought that we knew it was him. So, I mean, the reactions, especially back there, were so real. And that's why the reality was great, you know? And so, like, but getting to know him behind the scenes or whatever, we developed the best relationship. We still have it now. I love him to death. And no, I wouldn't change a thing. Like, I didn't know this was going to happen. I mean, I'm still like, everybody, no matter what, it's kind of like Friends and Jennifer Aniston. She even says like, I'm so tired of hearing about Friends. Well, I mean, that's what made you. I wouldn't take anything of it back. I mean, so I'm walking down the street now or in the store or wherever, and I mean, I'm still doing appearances, and people are like, Flavor, and I'm thinking like, do you know how many more things I've done since then? No, but that was it. That's like.
When did it get to a point for you where you couldn't go and walk down the street by yourself? You couldn't go to the grocery store by yourself. You couldn't go to church by yourself. Like, at what point did it become too much?
Oh gosh, so we wrapped the show. I went back home to Michigan. I mean, that was a quick editing process. Well, it was like a long editing process back then. So maybe like 6 months later, boom, the first episode came on. Immediately. And, you know, this is coming from old time girl that I'm out in basketball, climbing trees, dirty, and, you know what I mean, whatever, just doing. And then everybody, oh, who is this girl on TV? And Flav said it would change. That was it. My life was going to change. And I didn't realize how. The minute that first episode came on television, I'm talking about phone ringing, and I'm thinking like, how do people have my number? Like, how are they getting a hold of me? Like, and back then we didn't have social media, so you couldn't just go and DM somebody or this, down, the other, whatever. You had to go through the actual production company talk to a publicist, and a publicist had to reach out to somebody that tried to get a hold of you. I mean, there was a process, but it was right after that where I went to the mall and they literally were shutting the stores down so that I could shop on the inside. I'm talking about I just was like, what? This is crazy. So crazy. And so then after that, you know, security comes, blah, 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 and you have to hire them now forever in big groups. Like you have that. It just changes everything. I mean, I got thrown in it quick, so I had to learn very fast and get thick skin. Because the world is a cruel place, can be.
People are mean.
Yeah.
People can be mean. People can be vindictive. People have agendas, how they can get some of your shine and do whatever. Like it's a lot.
Oh, so you got to walk around, you know what I mean? Like always kind of guarded or whatever. But that's why I live away from the big cities. I live in a nice rural area so that I can feel and be, I'll say normal or regular, whatever you want to call it, you know, and then, you know, get ready to get back out there in the big world or whatever and be hoops, I guess.
What do you think about the reunion episodes that are coming up?
I think that everything is about to, you know, and things usually happen. They come and they circle back around. This was a shock though, but yeah, I guess they greenlit a reunion show for the guys from I Love New York. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. You know, Chance did, he's doing a show right now. He has Aaron. He has, he's hilarious. I love him, by the way. So I don't know. I think something's coming back around.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
It is too.
I think it is. I think when you talk about things coming back around, I think that anything that's 2000s, anything that is like people just think throwback and they think 90s. They don't think 2000s is throwback yet. And I think we're in that early stages of things starting to come around in that regard. And I think it's coming at the right time, particularly with COVID. Just slowing everything.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and watched. I mean, and we're going to get ready to come up on the reunion for ours. So they'll replay. I mean, they replay it every year. So in February for Valentine's Day. But like, I think this time, I don't know. They got something up their sleeve. Somebody does. So we'll see.
What is something about yourself that you've learned about yourself during COVID?
Say it again. You broke up.
What is something that you've learned about yourself during COVID?
I would say that, I'd say patience. I'd have to say patience because I used to be a hothead, and then, you know, when your life changes, you can't do that anymore because like you just can't. So you can't be the bad guy. So I've had to really pick and choose my battles, you know, so because some things just aren't worth it, and you got to let somebody else be that person. But I have to say patience. I've just grown a lot of patience or whatever. But really, nothing for the most part has really changed, you know. Like, I don't know, new money, still old habits. I'm always gonna take care of people I love, and I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, the court maybe gets a little bigger.
No, that's real. I think when you talk about patience, I think when you talk about family, it seems like you're well-rounded in that regard. I gotta ask, you were once engaged to Shaq, and the most dominant player in basketball. When you talk about someone who's focused, determined, and more, what is something about him? Just focus wise. I know him, you know him, but you know him differently. What is something about him that fascinates you? His level of competition, his level of drive. What's something about him that fascinates you?
I think his ambition. Like, I love ambitious people, but like, you know, you can say you want so many things in life, but to go after them and do it, also maintain and pursue it and keep that consistency up. I admire him for that. I learned so many things on the business end of it, you know, and the value of a team, people you trust, things like that or whatever. And also, you know, when to move, when not to move, where to place your money and things like that, like, taught me so much. So I'd have to say, like, his ambition, you know, and his love for also he's a family person too, the people that he loves. So he'll do anything for them, you know. So and his heart. So I'd say that.
You're a hooper. He's a hooper. Did you guys ever have a
Yep.
free throw competition?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to. I'm not even a free throw shooter, but you got to make them there, whatever. So if you go back and check the stats on the last year that he played for Boston, his free throw percentage went up because we were in that house of court all the time making him shoot free throws. I'm like, nope, you keep shooting them. Go check the percentage; it went up.
So
But
are you
no,
saying? So are you saying that you are responsible? So we're talking Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Nate Robinson, Shaq, that era of the Celtics. You were potentially responsible for his percentage going up.
I would have to say so. I'd have to say so. This will be a nice thing to kind of look back at, and you know what, get Shaq on here or whatever, and you ask him how many times we had to shoot free throws because we were in there. That's just what we had to work on. I'm like, be getting to the free throw line, not doing, because this is the thing. In his last year, whatever, he couldn't be as dominant as he was. You know, like that was kind of going down towards. So you got to make up for it somewhere else or whatever. So get the point standing there. We worked on it a lot.
So tell me something. You guys competed in free throw, or were you guys competing in free throw competitions, or were you just working on free throws?
Working on free throws, but obviously one-on-one all the time, 21 all the time. We had a couple little games we play all the time, you know, whatever. So just having fun. We had a lot of
21.
fun.
21 to me is a good game. I remember playing that in high school and college with classmates. It's fun because, like, we know Shaq actually has handles. I've seen him and Michael Jordan in videos go toe-to-toe in the pre-All-Star game, and I've seen it in All-Star games with his dribble. And what are some shots that he's taking in 21 that he's not taking on the court in an NBA game?
You said you broke up at the end. You said what are some shots that he's taken
In 21 that he's not taking in game.
Listen, he'll hit the three, and he's actually a good corner shot. I would have never thought it. Obviously, he did it a couple times in the games or whatever, but yeah, he'll stand back and shoot the three and everything. I'm like, what? Okay. Yeah, you can't really do it in the game. Do it in the warm-up maybe, but.
You're an athlete, and you have played in celebrity games, you've done TV shows and more. Why didn't that translate into professional basketball like in the WNBA?
I had an offer. I had a couple offers when I first came out, but at that time, the league had just started for women, and they were just trying to fill arena seats. And so for me, I'm just draw the crowd, you know what I mean? Especially for something that I love. I think also, I like the freedom of being able to come and go when I please, my choices, and that's just how I live today or whatever. And I'm still blessed to have the opportunities of work to come in that I get to say, oh, I want to do this, or I don't want to do this, or whatever. I can control that now, and I think being on that strict schedule, especially going through it with high school, and I did go 2 years or whatever, then went overseas. The regimen of that, I'm not really a routine person, so I know me, and I just didn't want to. I love basketball as a passion because it got me through childhood, like just growing up. Like that's just, even now, if I don't know where I couldn't just go out and play, like I don't know how else I would be able to like release all the things that people have to release, as human beings. But it just wasn't in the car for me, and then it wasn't the path that I felt like I needed to take, so I turned it down.
I think what I hear you saying is living within your purpose, having options, knowing your worth, but also not chasing it is what I see. And it's funny because I feel like where you are now career-wise is where you were then, like in the 2000s and the early 2010s. I think the WNBA will be willing to accept someone like you now, particularly because it's grown. Like social media has grown. Personalities have grown. If a show like Flavor of Love existed today and it started today, do you think that in a climate like today, you would have made the decision to play in the league now?
No. Like there's anything like a choice or a decision I make a time or place or whatever, I'm such a moment person. I think it's very important to stay present as much as you can. I full roundedly think of all the decisions and choices that I make. Like if it's a yes or a no, it's not an instant. You know, you have to think about that path that'll lead you down when you do make that choice, or where you'll end up. Sometimes you may not know, or take a chance, or this and the other. So I'm fully 100% aware of the actions it causes when I say yes or no. You know what I mean? So I'm not that person like, oh, I should have, or I wish I would have or could have. And that all genres of, you know, respect to my life, relationships, career wise, family, all of those things. So no, I'm 100% aware.
What is something that you'd like to accomplish in the next? Can you hear me?
Stay. Yeah, it's just really like crackle and pop. Okay.
This is the Wi-Fi culture we're in these days. Can you hear me?
The what?
I said this is the stay-at-home Wi-Fi culture that we are in these days.
No, I lost you again. Stay at home and watch a what?
I said this is the stay-at-home Wi-Fi culture that we are in these days.
This is true. I gotta say, you're the first person I'm doing it with as far as the live stream and everything loves like that. That's why I said I gotta love you, Scoop.
What? No, and the feelings are mutual. Love you too. What is your apprehension with sitting down with people and doing interviews?
You know, for me, it's so redundant. I think just talking about the same things or whatever and sitting and I think talking about yourself. I've always just, I don't know. I mean, and then you're just repeating it. And I think, I mean, for some people, a lot of people are probably hearing stuff they never heard before, you know, but I don't know. I mean, when you do them 20 times a day, I think it just gets a little, for you, you're gonna get information from several different people and it's a different situation for you. But me, I gotta, you know, it's kind of like, keep on, you know, talking about the same thing. So
it becomes redundant.
Like, okay, let me.
There's a level of redundancy, and you want to do more than just. I would imagine. If correct me if I'm wrong. I'm cool with Tahiri from Love and Hip Hop, and people always want to talk about Love and Hip Hop, Joe Budden over and over and over again. Who she dated, whatever, and it's like knowing her. There's more to her than just that. But people only want to focus on Love and Hip Hop. They only want to focus on just the personal stuff, more so relationship stuff, because that's what's interesting, who someone dated and more. But I would imagine in the same vein, there's more to you than just that.
Yeah. So that's why I took it with you. I knew it was going to be a little bit different, you know, so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You have a movie that was greenlit. If I'm not mistaken, you're doing it's with Jim Jones, if I'm not mistaken. It is a film called First Lady. I guess it's part 3.
Yeah, First Lady. We're getting ready to film part 3. So we did 1 and 2, Maria's Revenge, and now we're gonna be doing a movie called X. So we'll start that in a couple weeks. I'm excited about it. So part 3, the saga continues.
What is it like being on set with Jim Jones?
You said, what was it like being on set with him?
Mm-hmm.
I think like everybody, if you're not in your element, you're a little bit more reserved or whatever. But I mean, we didn't have like a humongous part together or whatever. But it's so awkward when you're not used to film. And like for him, I mean, he probably is it, but like on a set, you know, to keep on repeating is you know, we had like a bed scene or whatever where like he's getting ready to leave. I don't know if you've seen it or not or whatever. And some people without the dialogue and not rehearsing together, because I mean, we just went and got it. I cleared the room and I was just like, Jim, listen, we gotta make this real. We can go over it a couple of times or whatever. And then we got familiar with each other, whatever, went through it, got them comfortable. And so then we just nailed it. And then that was it. It was brief, but we got to go part. So yeah, he's cool.
He's very cool. I sat down with him a couple of times back in last November, as well as this summer. And I mean, we talked about like old school New York City basketball, the old tunnel club that Funkmaster Flex used to spin in. Have you ever been to the tunnel, or are you too young?
No, I know what you're talking about. I mean, listen, like cousins, daddy, all of them, whatever, just want to put it on. But like I said, I was too busy outside playing, but we know music. Music runs in the family now.
What is something you're an athlete, you are in tip-top shape. Music is something that I think gets people moving. I guess my question is, what is something musically that gets you motivated in your workouts? What are 3 songs that get you hype?
It gets me, oh gosh. Well, I'll tell you like this. My mood changes like the wind. So it just depends on whatever mood I'm in. The jobs are just like, they're endless. It could be big band if I'm cooking. It could be Metallica if I'm mad. It could be like if I need to get that steam out. I express like emotions. I'm not a good talker when it comes to that. I hold a lot in through music. Just depends on my mood. I love alternative. I love R&B. I love country. Like I love
Hmm.
all music genres. So it depends. If I'm working out, I kind of upbeat, EDM, things like that or whatever. And yeah, all over the place.
That's real. That's real. The election is coming up. I'm not going to ask you who I voted for, but will you be glad, or who you voted for? But I'm curious to know, will you be glad when everything is over?
You're curious to know what?
Will you be happy when the election is over?
Will I be happy?
Yes.
Gosh, this conversation could go so many ways right now. And I'm going to just say that I will be happy when it's over, but I do feel like there's going to be another level of just chaos before it gets better. And then hopefully I think things will just mellow out, and kind of get back into place of wherever they're supposed to be. Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real. What are you doing the rest of the day today? It's Halloween. Are you dressing up? Who are you going to be?
Yes, dressing up. I got other people to dress up. I got a birthday party that I got to make a cake for, and then we're gonna do a bonfire, so everybody's outside, do a little cake, then come back and then get some dinner ready or whatever, and then you can see the decorations. I need to get these pumpkins outside, and no one's really passing out candy or anything like that, but we're gonna have a couple family members over. I'm going to be the theme is angels and demons, so my wings are falling apart, so now I'm gonna have to try to switch my don't you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I got.
Like it.
What are you
I
doing?
like it. Sleeping, working, writing. I grew up not celebrating Halloween as a kid, but for me, I in my life I've only trick or treated once, and I was a grown ass adult.
Yeah, that's how you have to do it. And listen, I don't think there's the last 2 years I probably did trick or treat, but every year I'm like, come on, kids, come on, we're going.
But to be honest with you, with COVID and everything, I don't really trust it.
You don't?
Just the level of like, not outside, but just like the level of like the trick or treating. I think is good for the kids, but I think it's going to be very interesting with kids wearing masks and then wearing a mask on top of their mask.
Oh, okay. You're coming from. Okay, I was just thinking fun, this, that, and the other, which they're not even trick or treating anyway. I think now they just do the trunk or treat or something or whatever, and everybody's outside. And
Yes. Yes.
I think we'll know well enough like how they're gonna be. They're already gonna be outside, so I mean, I think it'll be good. So
Yeah. I'm staying my black behind the side, but for the other kids, if they want to go out and do it, I don't want to spoil their fun at all. It's just not for me.
Well, I'm about to live it up, so I hope you have a good rest of your day, Scoop.
You too, man.
And you're gonna let you know, so we'll get back to that another time.
Of course. We're gonna talk. I appreciate you giving me your time, and we will talk soon.
Yep. All right. Thanks for having me.
All right, Rockstar. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.